What up, YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome back to another live stream. Listen, happy Friday. I hope y'all are doing well. Shout out to everybody in the building, everybody watching. I hope you guys are doing well. Listen, as you come into the building, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the like button as you come into the building. Also, put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me perfectly fine. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me perfectly fine. Put a 1 in the chat if the audio is good. Put a 1 in the chat if the audio is good. All right. So how are you guys doing? I hope y'all are doing well. Happy Friday. I hope y'all enjoy. It's happy Halloween to those who celebrate Halloween. Happy Halloween. I hope y'all are enjoying your day. Listen, make sure as you come into the building, hit the like button. If you are in the building or if you are watching this and you have not subscribed to the channel, but you like the content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It is free to subscribe. Make sure you are doing that. Share the stream, share the videos, and turn on that notification bell to be notified when I upload new content. All right. So make sure you're doing that. Shout out to everybody in the building. Listen, also make sure you are supporting the channel via Cash App or Super Chat. That definitely helps the channel out and just helps us to grow. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you guys are supporting in any of those ways mentioned. Shout out to Shamari DeVoe in the building. Shout out to you. What is October 28th? Natina Reed. Shout out to you. That's coming from the group Black. I understand that. What's going on, Lorenzo Redmond? How are you? Also, oh yeah, and don't forget to go ahead and subscribe to the other channel, The Morning Show with DeeDee. Make sure you guys are subscribed to that channel as well. I put the link in the description. I'll put it in the chat as well. Make sure you are subscribed to that channel if you haven't already. Shout out to Ryan from the 8. How are you? C. Irving in the building. How are you, C. Irving? What's going on? Alex in the building. What's going on, Alex? How are you? Shout out to everybody watching. Captain Caveman, what's going on? How are you? So I hope y'all are doing well. Thank y'all so much for being here. Listen, we're going to hop right into this live stream. I'm going to try not to keep y'all too long today. But make sure as you come into the building, you hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. All right. So you guys see the title. I put Studstitute, child. So Studstitute fired on the first day of teaching, plus Bonnett crew still crash out over EBT plus more. So we're going to get into it. Y'all know how I do. I'm going to give my 2 cents. Make sure you chime in the chat. Make sure you're giving your thoughts. I want to hear your perspective as well. What's going on, Jay Tillman? How are you? DMS 1818, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you also. We're gonna go ahead and hop right in. Make sure as you come into the building, you hit the like button. Please hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. All right. So we're gonna hop right into this first clip that I have for you guys. And I'm gonna just go ahead and stop talking and we're gonna jump right into it. Make sure you let me know what you think in the chat. Here we go.
We got a new hustle unlocked. I'm a school teacher now. Little brothers. Let's get the day rolling. Who would have ever thought? This man. Today was really a breeze. My kids ain't have to do too much, man. To be honest, I let them do whatever they want to do. Yes, I'm that type of teacher.
It was something.
Damn, shorty. Sheesh. Man, I gotta get up out these school kids trying to take me down, man. Then I look so young, I look like one of them. Appreciate it. You know, my little free time, I had to go out there and give me some little content. Little fit check. Really just a chill fit today. So I know if it was up to me, I would have been rough out of head to toe. Yeah, I know I ain't lying. But they did have a pep ride and came clutch. And that was the tip of the day. Yeah. We got a new hustle unlocked. They got it going on at this junk. They stay bound. Okay, then. Damn, shorty. Sheesh. Man, I gotta get up out these school kids trying to take me down, man. Then I look so young, I look like one of them. As you guys may know, I am the substitute that was recently fired from teaching because of my TikTok. It's honestly so sad how sick the world is that you guys automatically mischaracterize me fully without further context. I'm a content creator. I record everything I do, so it was typical for me. And as you guys know, if you create content, you will know that everything you see is not what you get. Majority of the content that you do see was recorded while I was alone. It looked as if I had a class, but I did not have a class, and the school knows that. I did not have a class. I had nothing but free time. Aside from the body camera that was already recording, everything else was recorded when I was alone. And as I explained to Lake Cormont when I first arrived, this was my very first time subbing ever. I had absolutely no idea that I couldn't record students, or else I definitely wouldn't have done it. I truly would have honestly recorded myself if I knew it was an issue with recording students. I went on TikTok before I worked, and that's what I seen. I am by far no predator or anything close to it. That is insane for it even to be put onto me. I truly just thought I was doing something good for the youth. Like, honestly, and I was enjoying it. I wasn't going to make a video, but I've been receiving an awful amount of hate. I feel like it was necessary for me to clear my name up. I truly do apologize for how it may seem, but my slang and terminology is much different than yours. But none of the kids knew they were being recorded at any point. And I do apologize for this once again, I truly do, but I had no idea this was prohibited. I assure you that it would have not been posted. What I meant by shorty and the terminology the kids were going to take me down were absolutely not what you guys took them as. Those kids were smaller than me, shorter than me, younger than me. They are shorties, they are young. That absolutely means nothing with flirting. My terminology is much different from you guys. So I said the kids were going to take me down, as in a phrase of the kids all together. That absolutely did not mean anything sexual. That is sick to even think of that. I am a content creator. I am known. The kids knew me. They were supporters of mine. So I say the kids were going to take me down. It means as the same way that supporters do anybody else that they support. I'm no different from them. I handle myself more than properly. I do have a fan base. I do have supporters. I do have people that know me. Those kids already had knew me previously. It was several kids coming up to me trying to see, am I that person? That's what I meant by take me down, all hassling me at once is what I meant. Absolutely didn't mean anything sexual from kids. That is.
Well, and you know what? I think this stud was, I don't know, something in me says this particular stud may not have meant any harm, y'all. Just bear with me. I'm thinking maybe this stud did not really mean any harm, but you got to know as an adult, when you go into a situation with minors, you have to ask questions. First off, ask questions, and you have to think a little bit differently. I don't think the stud meant any harm. I think the way she talks, I think there is something to that. But I'm just saying, this is why you have to be mindful. Anytime you're working with minors, you need to understand you have to approach things differently. You can't go in it speaking the way you normally would speak, because everybody is like she said, everybody is not familiar with your slang or the way you communicate. And when you're anytime you're going into a professional field, you got to understand that you got a code switch, right? That's what they do, right? Code switch. You got to switch it up. You got to know that when you're going into a professional environment, that you can't speak to those and speak in a way that you would speak with your homies, or how you would speak with your gangster friends or your stud friends. You got to speak in a professional way, and you got to understand that you can't do certain things certain things are prohibited as it relates to minors. So that's something you should already know. And if you wasn't aware of that, you should have asked questions. I don't know if the people even mention it, but I mean, you can't film. Most people know you shouldn't be filming minors at a school. You can't film other people's kids and record it and then put it up. You know what I'm saying? And then the things that you say can be misconstrued. Like people are not going to understand what you're saying coming from the way you speak. You got to understand that may be taken in a wrong way. And that's exactly what happened. And so the Studstitute lost her job. She lost her job because of it. So maybe that's a learning lesson to her, that you can't go into those environments just doing certain things. You got to be aware of that kind of stuff. You can't take your hood mentality or your stud mentality to the school. I honestly, I was surprised that she was able to begin a Studstitute job. I was a little surprised, which I'm not mad. Everybody got to work, right? But you just got to be mindful of certain things when you're dealing with children. Let's continue.
Seek. those are kids, so they see me as somebody famous. They were all entouraging me at one time. That's what I meant. I find it sick that you guys would assume that I'd be saying that phrase in any other way. This was a voiceover I added way after I left the school. Again, it was an additional voiceover. It was not recorded. On the videos, it was nothing saying I was cheering the school on. There was an additional voiceover that I added after I mashed the videos up. I am truly so sorry that you guys are not familiar with me or my terminology, but I absolutely meant no harm. The entire 2 days that I worked at Lake Carmine, I did nothing but my job. I was to myself. Not one single kid that could say that I did or said anything inappropriate my time at Lake Carmine those 2 days. It was truly just a misunderstanding. But now that I see with creating content, it's easy to misunderstand and misinterpret things because everyone is free to their own opinions. That doesn't mean just automatically mischaracterize me. Like truly, like honestly, you guys, I would truly have to be an idiot to know that I'm doing something wrong that would lead to this much and still do it. I absolutely did not know. What I said in a voiceover was absolutely not meant how you guys took it. I just talk very differently. My slang is different. I do realize that those are students and I am an adult. I should have been way more professional with my word choicing. But again, kids had absolutely no clue there was an additional voiceover that I added on TikTok. I do realize the mistake I made, honestly and truthfully. I was just in a moment being myself. I wasn't thinking inappropriately at all. I'm still learning. I am aware of that, but I honestly truly didn't know, you guys. Like I just didn't. It's no way that I would have posted it. I wasn't thinking inappropriate. So when you say that I said something inappropriate, it wasn't in a way that you assumed it because I wasn't even thinking that way from the jump. But I truly, sincerely to the bottom of my heart, I do apologize to all of the parents and students at Lake Cormont. I actually loved you guys' school. I would have loved to work there. Like, I know you guys have mischaracterized me, but I am a great person. Like, I am a great person. Aside from the tattoos, I am an excellent person. I do apologize once again. I absolutely meant no harm. I absolutely didn't. Again, and I just want you guys to, give me some grace. This is my first time subbing ever. You see, I'm a content creator. This is my first time subbing. I was trying something new, trying to give back to the kids, which I would have loved to do. I enjoyed myself the time I was there, but I'm fired.
Yeah, now, y'all crazy. Y'all starting early. I'm going to give her some grace. I'm going to give her some grace. I really, truly don't believe that she meant any harm. I do. I could be wrong, but I don't think she meant any harm. I think she was just trying to be her stud self. She's herself. She was studying it up and got caught in a moment and didn't realize, oh, this might not be prohibited, or this might come off the wrong way. These are kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta move differently around kids as an adult. So you have to be mindful of the things that you say. You can't, play around with these children because, anything could occur and then it's going to be on you. And then the fact that you are a Studstitute, it might be looked at in a way with parents and with other people as well. And so you have to really be on your P's and Q's. You really have to be very mindful of your actions and what you do and how you interact with these kids, because one false move or one allegation and then you out of there anyway. So maybe it was a blessing in disguise for them to just get the stud on out there, out of the school, so it won't cause any further problems. You know what I'm saying? Because what she said, shorty is something, and that definitely could have been looked at in the wrong way. And most parents are, when you deal with, when you go to these schools, these parents are very serious about their kids and who they have around the children and their behavior and all of that, as you should as a parent. So I don't know. Y'all saying maybe y'all may not believe that the Studstitute was telling the truth. I don't know. I'm gonna give the stud a little grace. You know what I'm saying? Everybody make mistakes, y'all. Y'all, come on now. Everybody make mistakes. Maybe she just, like she said, she really didn't think about it. She just be herself. But once again, she said she learned from it. It was her first time ever doing it. So maybe she learned. Hopefully she don't do it again if she's ever around kids or given that opportunity again, that you can't say certain things to these kids. First off, you got to walk in there like a professional, in my opinion, when you're dealing with kids, because you don't want to blur the lines across the lines. It's the same way You know, that teacher who was had those girls braiding his hair. I don't know if y'all remember that. He got fired. And all the kids loved him, but still, it's a, you know, you got to look at that. You know, he was some would say too comfortable with those kids, and it blurs the lines between teacher and student. And then there's a lot of young girls in there too, and they braiding his hair and doing that. Some would say you're taking that too far. Making these kids a little too comfortable, and these girls, and it's like, okay, what's gonna happen here? Ain't nothing happened, but what could happen? You know what I mean? The implication. So, you know, when it comes to your, you know, being a teacher, you have to be professional. I believe that a teacher should stay in a teacher's place, and the kids should be in the kids' place. It shouldn't be blurred lines between, oh, the teacher could be somewhat your friend or something like that. Nah, I don't think your teacher should be your friends. I think you could be a good teacher for the kids, but there should be that respect level there, and there should be boundaries between the students and the teachers. The students should know, hey, we don't cross that line with Mr. Patterson or Miss Patterson or whoever. Like, you know, because I remember growing up, it was like that. You know the teachers. Certain teachers don't put up with this. Certain teachers are this way. There's always this more friendly teacher. There's more teacher who kind of seem more like your friend, but there was still a line drawn. Like, okay, no, but you know you can't go too far because he or she don't allow it. You know what I mean? So you have to be very, very cautious of that when you're working with kids. What's going on, Jamil? Jamil 843, thank you for the super chat. Says no bulldaggers should be teaching children. Oh wait, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. I haven't heard nobody say that in a long time. I haven't heard nobody say that in a long time. Bulldaggers. Oh my God, I haven't heard a person say that in years. Oh my God, Jamil, thank you for the super chat. Baby, y'all crazy as hell. Y'all crazy as hell. I haven't heard nobody say that in a minute. Oh Lord, Lord, Lord. Watch it now, Jamil, because you know. Oh my God, I was about to call my husband because he would scream. Oh my God, Lord have mercy. Jesus Christ. Y'all a trip, baby. You know, that's a derogatory word now, Jamil. You can't say that nowadays. Back in the day, that's all they said, you know. That's all that was said. Now it's like, oh my God, that's so derogatory, you know. Oh my God, y'all crazy as hell. Captain Caveman, thank you for the super chat. Says, I don't believe she had the balls to do that. LOL. Oh my God, you a trip too. Thank y'all so much for being here. Yes, Lord. Thank you, Captain Caveman. Y'all crazy, baby. Oh my God. Listen, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. Oh Lord Jesus Christ. Y'all a trip. I ain't gonna lie. DeMarcus Vaughn, thank you so much for the super chat. Oh Lord. Said, which is worse, being confused or delusional about a situation? Which is worse, being confused or delusional about a situation? Which is worse, being confused or delusional about a situation? I don't know. I think being confused, I think being delusional is worse, DeMarcus. If you ask me, I think being delusional is worse. Because you know why? If you're confused about something, you could come to some type of conclusion or resolution. Like you could figure it out. You know, sometimes I'm confused about stuff, but then I figure it out. Like, oh, I'm just confused because I don't know. And then I figure it out. Oh, that's like anything, you know. Oh, I was confused on which way to go when I was going to the doctor's office. oh, this the wrong way. Damn it. I went the wrong way. But when I'm confused about, oh, but I could figure that out, oh no, I'm supposed to go that way. So I go that way and I get to my destination. Even though I have the GPS, it's like, oh, I made a wrong turn. Oh no, I'm supposed to make that turn. Oh, I got confused about the GPS. The directions it was giving me, because sometimes it'll say make a right here, make a right here, then it'll say make a left. Like, that's confusion, but you could figure the confusion out. Thank you, DeMarcus, once again for the super chat. If you figure out if you're confused about something. If you're delusional means you think a certain way, and you don't see I could be confused one minute and figure it out the next. When you're delusional, it's a state of mind, in my opinion. It's like you're delusional about something that you wholeheartedly believe, and nobody could tell you anything otherwise. You're delusional to a degree to where you believe what you feel or think. It's no real factual evidence to prove what your delusion. You just believe it, and even though it might not be what you think it is, nobody can tell you. You just believe that, even though just because. Like, so that's how I look at it. Anyway. Jamil 843, thank you once again for the super chat. Says, I was raised by old folks. LOL. Right. I get it. I totally get it. I get it, Jamil. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Jamil, you also say delusion is worse. Confusion is based in reality. I agree. That's what I'm saying. Delusional is, yeah, right. It's your own mental state of something. Like, it's no fact in it. It's just you believe something that could, just because. You know what I mean? And that to me is dangerous. But if you're confused about something, yeah, you can become unconfused. You know what I mean? I'd be confused about a lot. But then if I get the right information, I'm no longer confused, because now it's clear to me. So yeah. That's how I see it anyway. Thank you once again, Jamil. I appreciate you for the support. Yeah, but so the Studstitute lost her job. And she says she learned from all of that. So hopefully, that won't happen again. Hopefully, she can move on and do her thing or whatever. But a lot of people, that video went viral, actually. That video went viral because a lot of people didn't, a lot of people felt like y'all felt. They didn't think that the Studstitute should have been substituting. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. You don't say inappropriate things to kids, and you as an adult should know that. And before you go into those types of professions, you should know that. You should go into it with a professional mentality. And also the fact that the stud said the kids knew her, and like she was a celebrity, that's a problem too. Because that's not what you want to bring to a school setting. Because the kids may, become disruptive or get out of line. No, you want to have some type of order, when you're a teacher in a school setting, because you have to be the authority, you have to be the adult in that scenario. You have to be the person who basically runs that show. You have to make sure the kids stay in a kid's place, and that way you can run your classroom properly. I don't believe in the play type of situation with the children and the kids and the teachers. I like stern teachers, like teachers are there to teach, no nonsense. You know what I mean? Because you're there to do a job, and you want the kids to respect you. Now, they can like you as a teacher. There's nothing wrong with that, because I've seen that, but you gotta have some boundaries. You just can't let anything go. So yeah, I think that's important. We're gonna move on, y'all. We're gonna move on to this whole this whole situation with the EBT SNAP benefits, because once again, the Bonnett crew is still acting out, y'all. So they're still having an issue with these EBT benefits being discontinued for the month of November. We're right there. Tomorrow is November 1st. In some states, I think they're finding a way to resume the benefits, but people are still crashing out over this. And, I want to give my thoughts on it, and I want to get y'all thoughts on it as well. Y'all, I'm pretty sure y'all have seen a lot of the video clips of people talking about stealing, and some Walmarts and stuff have been, running through Walmart stealing. This is crazy. Y'all, I don't know what this is a hot mess. Captain K, man, thank you for the super chat. Says, good thing the bulldagger wasn't teaching cooking class. Would have them poor children making hair pie. Oh my God. Thank you, Captain Caveman. Y'all a trip. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. That's crazy. Let's move on, y'all. Check out this. I want to let me know what y'all think in the comments. Here we go.
This is a message to the grocery stores that earn profit from those that are on SNAP and food stamps. And I'm talking about in the New England area. Shaw's, Stop and Shop, Aldi's, Market Basket, Zebra, even Walmart. It's time for you to get back to your community. Stop asking consumers for donations, because I know that's what you're going to do on November 1st, okay? You have made billions of dollars off of families that are either actually paying or that are on SNAP and food stamps. So it is time for you to get back to the community. You can create a little designated area. You can, in your little area where you have your deliveries for people that are picking up items, you can make a little space where you ask them a few questions and you give. You have boxes of food to give away. It should not weigh in and compress on food pantries because they're limited. So that's just my weigh in. Y'all be well and stop again asking consumers for donations.
Okay, so let me ask y'all this real quick. What do y'all think about what she's saying? I think she's saying the grocery stores should pay back. So the grocery stores should find ways to give food to people. What y'all thought? Do y'all agree with that? Aren't they in it? They gotta sell stuff. Like, should the grocery stores get a package of food and give it to the people? Do y'all think that's something that could be done, or they should be doing that? What's y'all thoughts? Captain Caveman, thank you for the super chat. Says, I'm using Lady EBT card to pay for my super chat. I know you lying. You ain't pay no goddamn EBT. I know you lie, but thank you for the super chat. Y'all stupid. A mess. Thank you though. The ruckus. Let's talk about it. Thank you for the super chat. Says, if heifers are overall delusional, are they delusional, or is it the norm? If they are overall delusional, are they delusional, or is it the norm? Well, their delusional aspect becomes the norm. The delusion becomes the norm, especially when you have the Bonnett crew, all on, the sisterhood, the sister code, all on the same, talking points. When they gather together and they all get together and they start believing the same delusional aspect, then it becomes the norm for them. Because once again, this is why I say being delusional is dangerous, especially and depending on what you're being delusional about too. Because if you just think, oh, you're just gonna manifest a rich man to come in and take care of you and your 3 kids, that's delusional. And then if all of them think the same way, this is how you get these group of women who think the way they think now, who think that, oh, a man's supposed to come in and take care of their kids and take care of them and pay all the bills and do all this and get them a lifestyle, and they shouldn't have to do nothing. And they all agree to that. They're all delusional, and it becomes their norm. So if what I'm saying or anybody else, in the so-called red pill space, the red pill space, if what their talking points, this is why they don't want to hear that, because that's crazy to them, because in their minds, they've made their delusional mentality the norm. You get what I'm saying? That's what I believe anyway. I think you can make anything normal. You can believe what you want to believe and it becomes your reality. And that's why when people speak on things outside of that, it sounds foreign to them. That's why something that you're saying that's good can sound foreign, because you've adopted an idea of negativity or a manifestation type of vibe. Like, oh, you can manifest this and you can do this and this is what it is. And you got the sisterhood to agree with you and kind of back you on that. So it becomes your reality. So yeah, it can become the norm to them, but it's not the norm to people who live in reality. It's only the norm to people who live in that delusional state. But for everybody else who look at reality and what's really happening, we see it as the foolishness and a delusion. You know what I mean? But thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Let's continue.
The accountability should rely on you.
I bet this government shutdown made some of y'all women change y'all mind about having a $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 man now, huh? Before, a lot of y'all girls were saying, I don't want no man to make $30,000 a year. He got to make at least 90 bands. He got to at least make 100 bands. Huh? Okay. I bet you these men out here that's making $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year mean something now. I bet you recognize their value now. But before, y'all would look past those men. Y'all would look right past them. Oh, he don't make enough money. Oh, he can't support my lifestyle. But can you support your own lifestyle right now? Huh? Okay. You keep on looking past them $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year men if you want to. Y'all better recognize, at least they ain't out here selling drugs, slinging crack, sex, slinging dope. At least they get up and go to work. Okay.
There are plenty of grown men.
She got a good point. That's what I speak on all the time. I saw a comment, Steve with Steve O. Stoner. Steve says per capita, more white women are on SNAP benefits in this country more than any other race. That is absolutely 100% correct. That is the truth. It's really, look, that is a fact. We know white people, and I did a video on this not too long ago too, where you have white people admitting that they are the biggest recipients of welfare. But that's not the point that we're arguing any point really. It's just the fact that we see white people and black people just crashing out over this. But when this happens, it's people that look like me. It's us, our faces that always are at the forefront of it. You know, when they show people in the stores running and storming, they're gonna try to show black people. You know, when white people are complaining too. But when this kind of stuff happens, you know, this is where the whole welfare queen thing came in, and they made it seem as if it was black people that were the welfare queens, when in actuality it's not. So we know that, but my thing is this: I think a lot of times in our community, not all of us, but what we see at the forefront, you know, they tend to perpetuate a narrative that people already believe, even though we know it's not the truth. Even though we know black people aren't the biggest recipients of welfare at all. They put us at the forefront. They show black people looking crazy and acting a fool and talking crazy, which points me to another video that I'm going to react to. This new video that's surfacing on social media. Again, it's a new group of black people, a family of 15 in this hotel, needing food and struggling and stuff like that, which is sad. But they'll show that, but they don't go and show you the people who are struggling as well and getting the most of these benefits. They don't go into the mountains and to the trailer parks and stuff like that and show those folks. They show us. So this is why I always wonder why, when black people don't realize that and start to try to maybe change their behavior. Because when I see women on here crashing out over this and talking about they're going to steal and they're going, and you better not, my car better work, or I'm going to walk out of that store with the mother effer and this and that, and I'm going to take all my ish and this, and just acting it further makes people believe that this is the majority of what black people do. And this is how we all are. And we know that's not the case. So it's like they perpetuate a stereotype that's already been placed out there, even though we know it's not, it's just a stereotype. It's not true. But why give them more, you know what I'm saying? Why give more ammunition to fuel the fire, or give more, you know what I mean? It's like they don't think about that and they don't care. You just gonna give them what they need to keep on saying, see, this is what they do, And if you ever look in some of these videos where these cam videos of black people, what you see in the comments, what you see in the comments, they always say the usual suspects. When I've seen all type of crash out on body cam videos of all kind of different races of people. But once again, we are a smaller different demographic, but we're portrayed as if we're the worst and we're the biggest demographic of everything bad. And I do believe that some in our community perpetuate that. I do. I think there are people in our communities who don't care about the image of black people, and they perpetuate that stereotype and make it seem as this is what we all do when we know we don't. So that's my thoughts on that. So yeah, I mean, yep. Captain Caveman says, give back. Get a sign that says we'll work for food. Oh God, have mercy. What the young people say? Oh God. Look, there's this video that I saw of these, I don't know if they was Indian or whatever, but baby, they was out here, they was out in them streets begging for money and stuff and lying to the people too. Like everybody out here trying to hustle the folks. People trying to hustle and get paid because people are struggling, losing their jobs. Thank you, Captain Caveman. Jamil says, my hood chick, EBT, gone. Shaking my head. Now I gotta pay for groceries. LOL. What happened to it? Oh Lord. I told her EBT card gone. Now you gotta pay for groceries. Listen. Look, But look on the bright side. Look, do you got to pay for groceries? You got the money to pay for it, right? Or do you not? See, that's another thing too. Thank you, Jamil. I appreciate you. And that's another thing. Y'all a trip. Yours too, Captain Caveman. Y'all crazy. But listen, I just think is it that they don't have any money to pay for groceries or they don't want to? See, that's the real gag. There are people out here who are absolutely struggling, no doubt. But are these Bonnett crew members, are they really broke? Do they really not have no money to pay for food or just don't want to? Because you hear a lot of them saying, I got to pay my money for food? What? To feed my kids? What? Because I saw another video too, now that it's coming to my mind, where this woman was saying a lot of these women, it's not that they can't pay for food, they don't want to. Because the money that they're using for their nails, for their weaves and wigs and their toes and pedicures and all these other things is the money now that they're going to have to use for food. See, it's not that they can't get the money or come up with it or they don't have it. A lot of times they're using that for all these other things that they want to do. Anytime you have a lot of people out here talking about they're going to not pay their rent to go to a Chris Brown concert, like, come on, you can't not. Well, then I guess you're not going to pay your rent to get your kids some food for the month of November if you have to. It's just crazy. And I've seen a lot of this. And, so once again, I think there are people out here who truly need the help. And I think others who are just duping the system and they're just mad when they can't continue to do so. That's all I'm saying. Thank you, Jamil, once again. I appreciate you. Jamil also says she hood, but she a good girl though. LOL. Okay. 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 If you say so, thank you. I appreciate the super chat. Oh Lord. Oh my God. Let's continue.
Making jokes about how 90% of women, if they take away food stamps, Section 8, this, that, and the third, all types of government assistance, 90% of women will fold in a week. Mind you, these are the same men that don't take care of their kids, which is the reason why half of these women are on government assistance. Half of these men don't watch their kids, there's daycare. Half of these men aren't on child support or don't have a job to pay their child support fucking payments. But they talking about 90% of women will fold if the government shut all their assistance down. I want y'all to know something. The way that y'all want women to not only fall flat on our faces, but y'all want us to fall flat on our faces so we can prove that we need men while y'all still don't be the men that we fucking need. Excuse the stuffy voice because I am getting a code from the weather change. But my point still remains the fucking same here. Y'all literally, as men, to sit here and say, oh, it would be so funny to watch all the women fold if government assistance got taken away completely. All you're reminding us is, even without the government assistance, y'all still won't do shit. No government.
Well, I mean, you gotta pay attention to who you're talking to when you're saying y'all. It's the men that y'all choose. It's the men that y'all choose. It's not all men. It's the men that you choose. You choose to have babies with men with deadbeats. That's what you choose. And so they don't care about being fathers and men who don't care about being with you. So you end up having to carry the load. And this is why you turn to government assistance, because you don't have a man who really wanted to be there with you in the first place. Y'all just out here getting to the D and y'all getting to that. And that's it. And you creating babies in unstable households. So you can't fully blame that on a deadbeat gonna be a deadbeat. You think y'all thought when y'all had these babies that somehow that's going to make him a proper man and a proper father. And he's going to be, level up and start doing right by you. No, y'all were on the same level. You weren't nothing and he weren't nothing. He wasn't doing nothing and you wasn't either. Y'all was doing the easiest thing that you can do when you broke and you ain't got nothing going for yourself is to have sex. Especially for women. That's the easiest thing you could do. When in doubt, just go sleep around. When in doubt, there's a woman who did a whole video on it saying she didn't have nothing going for herself and all she was doing is having sex with random guys, a white girl. Because that's the easiest thing to do. You don't know what else to do with yourself. Oh, well, let me just go numb myself and go sleep with a random. And they don't care about you. You don't care about them. She already had a child too. Because, having sex creates children. And so then you go out and then next thing you know, you keep racking up these bodies and then you keep racking up these babies. And then you turn around and say, oh, these ninjas are deadbeats. They don't take care of the kids. Who told you there was anything other than that? You don't know what they was about because you didn't care. You were just out here just busting it open and trying to numb your pain or whatever's going on with you. And you created children. And now you realize, oh, snap. I gotta take care of these kids by myself. Cause he ain't nowhere around. He don't want to be with you. You don't want to be with him. He was just, and then you don't know these people. You just randomly open your leg, and then you pregnant. And then he didn't want to step up. You don't know nothing about him. You never required him to step up in the beginning before you open your leg. You just opening your legs. That's the part they don't want to talk about. You can't have all these standards and after the fact. You need to have the standards before the fact. Before you bust it open to anybody. You need to make sure of what you're doing. You can't turn around and bust it open for anybody and then complain about the consequences because that's your choice that you made. They're backwards. You go out and do whatever you want to do and get to the D and then, oh, snap, I'm pregnant. Oh, he don't want to be a father. He never wanted to be a father. He never wanted to be with you, but you didn't care about that because that was unimportant until now the consequences arise. Now, oh, he don't want to do this. He never wanted to do it. And you didn't require him to do it, boo. So no, don't complain about the aftermath. You should be requiring certain things and not allowing certain things from the get-go so that you won't end up in that situation. And you can't put every man in that category because not every man is a deadbeat. Not every man is out here swinging that thing all over the place and, yamming it into any old thing and making babies out of wedlock and having children all over the place and just not really caring. Every man is not doing that. You got to focus on the men that you chose and the men that you're choosing to do this with. That's not every man. So you can't put every man in that category, baby. You got to hold yourself accountable. Stop busting it open for anybody and getting pregnant and then blaming them that they're not there. No, that's why y'all know government assistance is there waiting for you as a safety net. So you don't really care about a man having to take care and be there. You don't really care about that. And until now, your safety net is being threatened. Now you want to say, oh, this is why we're there in the first place. No, you're there because you made horrible choices. You didn't care about prioritizing a husband, a stable man, a man that's stable, a hardworking man that wanted you and a family. Because if a man wants you and he wants a family, more than likely he's going to be committed to his family. He's not going to be going all around because that's not who he is. That's not in his character. Every man is not trying to be a hoe. Every man is. There are men who will be satisfied with a wife or that one woman. There are men who will be satisfied in a relationship with his family and being there for his kids. There are men who are satisfied with that. Every man ain't out here trying to be a host, just sleeping with everything. And every man is not a deadbeat. Every man is not out here trying to neglect his kids, creating babies all over the place and running around and not taking care of his seed. That's not every man. So only speak on the men that you deal with, the men that you didn't vet, the men that you didn't have no clue what they was about. You just was trying to get to the D and you did. And you got to the D and you created a baby. And then you realize he don't want, he can ghosted. He don't really want you. He don't want you or that baby. You have to share some responsibility in that too. It can't just be all on that one person because you allowed him to do what he did. You allowed it. Captain Caveman says, in national parks, they'll tell you not to feed the animals. You make them become dependent on you. You make them become dependent on you and they'll not hunt to feed themselves. Sounds familiar. It does. Exactly. It really does. It really does. Thank you, Captain Caveman 69 for the super chat. It really does. That's what I'm saying. I said this a long time ago. The government assistance programs and stuff, that stuff, it cripples you. That's what I've seen. I grew up in it. You know what I'm saying? I think it cripples you. It makes people dependent. You're right. You're absolutely right, Captain Caveman. It makes you dependent upon it. So you don't want to go out. There are people who actually turn down getting jobs because a friend of ours worked for the government or whatever, and it was a social worker, I think, and would have the people come in applying for these things. They don't want to work jobs. They're afraid to work a job because they think that it's going to interfere with their assistance. So if they go to work, I can't go work full time because they're going to cut my benefits. Now, those benefits are way less than what you would get working a full-time job, but they don't want to work the full-time job. They would rather get the smaller amount of benefits without having to work. And so you become dependent upon that. This is why they're saying this stuff wasn't meant for you to be on for 20 and 30 and 40 years for your whole life. It was meant to aid you and help you to boost you up to something more. But a lot of them it cripples you, and you just sit there and you just take it and you get it because you don't have to do nothing for it. And so what happens is you become entitled and you become unappreciative because now you believe that these people owe you this shit. I'm sorry. You think that they owe this to you. Oh, I'm supposed to get. They don't have to give you that. But you become entitled and you think they owe it to you. This is why they're talking about crashing out when they're saying, oh, you're not going to get it. And not realizing it's because of the government shutdown. Oh, we're not going to get it. Oh, we're going to start stealing them. Like, come on. Like, what? You have no real control over that. And eventually, if they want to change laws to where and just minimize it by little till you're not barely getting anything, what you going to do? You're going to have to get up and go and figure out another way anyway. So why not do that anyway? I could see if people need it, because there are people who need it as a supplemental income or something to help them. I totally understand that, because I understand it. Like I said before, if you lose your job as a hardworking citizen who's been working for years, then I think those people should qualify for that. I think elderly people who can no longer work, or disabled people, I think they should qualify for something. They don't even get the majority of the benefits. Elderly people get smaller amounts of that, and the disabled don't even get a whole lot. It's the young people who are able-bodied that could work are the ones who sitting back, don't want to work and getting it. All these boss chicks with these bonnets on and these wigs and stuff, they're the ones able-bodied walking around with BBLs and everything, or the ones sitting around getting Section 8, food stamps, welfare, all of it. Able-bodied people driving Mercedes Benzes and all this. They're the ones who getting it. They're the ones sucking it all up. And this ain't just black women. It's across, it's not just black women. Those women, a lot of these women are getting this stuff while driving good, living good, and everything. And the other part of society who are out here working, the working class, working really hard, who may make decent money, but they still are, having a hard time meeting all of their bills because things are expensive. They don't qualify for it. It's a bunch of these single mother Bonnett crew members who are out here getting the majority of this stuff. I mean, getting it, and they don't want to work, and they're crashing out. I'm like, come on now. Yeah, you can get BBLs, y'all can get tummy tucks and all this stuff. You telling me, because my thing is this. I mean, look, I don't think anybody should abuse the system. But if you're getting it, why are you so loud on social media? That's another thing too. You talk too much. Like that, you don't know how to shut up. You talk too much. Oh boy, you never shut up. You talk too much. Learn how to be quiet. Even if if you getting assistance or whatever, and why you talk to me? Y'all expose yourselves. You be the loudest. Sometimes it don't even cause for all that. And if you got money outside of that and you getting that as extra or whatever, which I don't condone, but I'm saying be quiet. And why you on social media telling people what you got, telling people the kind of cars you drive and you got this and you got that. That girl did a whole video on TikTok talking about how she go to the food stamp office crying and telling the people, oh, I'm so hungry. I don't have nothing. I don't have no kind of money coming in. And they just feel sorry for her. And they give her stamps and all that. Meanwhile, she living in a 3-bedroom, living good, driving this, all that. Like, why y'all expose yourself? You talk too much, so you expose yourself. And it's probably for a reason. Thank you, Captain Caveman. Smashing with your Captain Caveman says, smashing with your stomach growling is dirty work. Right. That's crazy. That's crazy. Thank you. What? Dang. Hold on. Y'all, Captain Caveman says again, thank you for the super chat, Captain Caveman. He says, I got with a girl that was on EBT when food prices was high. As soon as it went down, I was out. I tried to tell her help is supposed to be temporary, not permanent. Learn the lesson. LOL. Thank you, Captain Caveman, for that story. I appreciate you. JSU Tiger 07, thank you for the super chat. Says you're not entitled to eat anything good. Eat hot dogs. Martin Downey Jr. And what they say they be eating JSU, Tiger, they be eating lobsters and shrimps and all this stuff. Like what, child? And another thing too that this woman was talking about too, that I've seen in my lifetime too. A lot of these women complain about food for their kids and all that, but a lot of them, they be abusing the stamps too. They be selling them. They be selling them. This is not a new concept, which that is illegal. You should not be doing that, but they be doing that too. They be selling stamps to get their nails and all this other stuff done too. So it's a lot going on that needs to be changed. I'm just saying. Thank you for the super chat, JSU Tiger 07. Yeah, it's entitlements. You can't eat hot dogs. You gotta, and then them children don't be eating. The children be eating corn dogs. It's like a hot dog. They don't be feeding these kids all that good anyway. It's just a lot. And I think when you've been privy to a lot of this, this is not a surprise to me. I grew up in the hood, in the projects. I've seen this happen. Okay, on a personal level. I'm just saying. So I've seen it all, and I know it to be true. And this is not everybody now, but I mean, hell, a lot of them. I'm just saying. So the ratchicity must stop, for real. Oh my God. Let's continue.
Assistance means men still won't fucking provide. All y'all gonna do is laugh while we're poor and broke and fucked up like y'all are. Interesting. Y'all just want to see another person fucked up and fucked around so you don't have to feel bad about being fucked up and fucked around. A lot of you men, and again, if it doesn't...
Well, first off, they don't want to... I don't think men want to see you fall. You must want to see yourself fall or fail. I don't think men are sitting around in line laughing out. Some of the stuff is funny, but what I'm saying is I don't think they're just sitting around just laughing like, oh my God, look at you. Oh, ha, ha, ha. No, it's getting to that point because y'all don't listen. And see, the thing is, you saying it because it's like hit dogs will holler, and you realize you didn't want to listen, and you don't think you need a man, but all the time y'all always do. That's the thing, you always do, because you wouldn't be complaining about them. If you didn't need a man, you wouldn't be complaining about men not doing their part or doing anything. You would be able to handle it yourself. But see, when y'all think y'all can handle it, we don't need no ninjas. But when it's falling apart, now you're complaining about the said ninjas. So you really do need them at the end of the day, because you're complaining about them not doing this and that. But when you think you got it made in the shade, I don't need them. I can take care of my kids by myself. And now when you have to take care of your kids by yourself, when the government is, backing away, now you're like, well, why? That's why we here, because y'all don't want to do this. Well, I thought you didn't need them and you could do it by yourself. That's the whole point. It's a confusing thing. It's like there's no accountability whatsoever. They're never wrong. It's always on somebody else. It's always somebody else's responsibility. That's crazy. Let's continue.
Apply, let it fly. Do not get in my comments speaking for all men when half of y'all know about 4 fucking deadbeat daddies. If you're not a deadbeat and you take care of your kids, don't feel fucking triggered. But if you know you don't do enough for your children and to help out your baby mama or your significant other, then bitch, hit dog holler. You feel me?
Yeah, and hit dogs holler when it comes to women too. There are a bunch of deadbeat mothers too, boo-boo. I think they forget that. The focus is so much on the men. There are a lot of deadbeat mothers who don't take care of their kids. Kids ain't got enough to eat. Kids don't have no clothes, don't have no diapers, walking around with a saggy diaper on all day. Kids be snotty nose, just not taken care of properly. There's a lot of deadbeat mothers. A lot of deadbeat mothers who put their children off onto their on the grandmothers. Their mothers be raising the children. There are a lot of children, even adults now, who were raised. I mean, if I ask anybody in this chat that was raised by their grandmother, there are probably some who have been, and there have been men on my chat who was raised by their grandmothers. There are a lot of children who have been raised by their grandmothers, not their mothers, because the mothers were not in the right space to raise those kids. So a lot of women don't raise their kids either. A lot of women are deadbeats as well. And if you can't complain about a man not being there when you aren't fully there. Like the lady said in the other clip, if this is why they're panicking, because if they remove all of this assistance, what do you really have? Can you take care of your kids? Can you feed? Y'all already say the kids gonna starve. They crying out, crashing out. Oh, kids are not gonna eat for November. Like, you got to think about this. If you got 4, 5 kids and your kids ain't gonna eat when the government says you ain't getting no stamps, that's a problem. And if you can't blame the man solely for being a deadbeat, If he ain't there, you got to blame yourself too, because if you can't, as a mother, you a deadbeat too. If you can't feed your 4 or 5 kids that you decided to bring into this world with random dudes with no stability, then you is just as much as a deadbeat as he is. Because if the government says, I ain't giving y'all no more stamps and your kids gonna go starving, that's a problem, and that's on you. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a plan B. If the assistance isn't there, you got to have a plan B to make sure your kids are fed. So y'all crashing out saying y'all kids ain't gonna eat, y'all. That means you can't take care of your own kids that you decided to go lay up in half. And you didn't think about one. You had one. You was like, damn, it's a lot. It's expensive with this one child. Children are expensive. But damn, it's just me. I don't want to be in this position no more. You know what I'm saying? Like you would think logically and say, you know what? If you have one, this is why I give grace to women who have one child and you realize, damn, this is too much. I'm not doing this. I'm going to do better. I give grace because I think a lot of us, you know, people don't know it all. And especially if you come from a horrible background where you wasn't taught these things, people make mistakes. So, but that first one, I would give you grace. But if you keep 4 or 5, and 4 or 5 baby daddies, you ain't learned a goddamn thing. So I'm just saying, you keep doing it, and I'm like, you expect a different outcome. But if you know what I'm saying, what do you learn? And you keep doing it, and then you keep complaining. Like, what are you doing? Like that don't make any sense to me. It doesn't. So I'm just saying, like, you gotta think about your actions, and you gotta start choosing better, thinking differently, making better decisions so that you get better outcomes. You can't sit back and just, you didn't think, like I said, oh, this one, oh my God, this was expensive. I don't have no help. Let me think about this. I'm not gonna keep doing that again over and over, because you just keep pushing yourself further and further back with, creating these babies. And the government is not enough to take care of children, in my opinion. You need way more than that. You need more than that. That government money that they give you for those kids is not enough to raise children, in my opinion. That little money that they give is not enough to raise multiple children. Children need way more than what that is offering. Just my opinion. So if you sitting back and you got to just take that and just deal with that and then complain, like, come on now, you got to take some accountability too. Divine Photos, what's going on, Divine? Says today's our marriage. So this independent mindset has made the men they want treat them accordingly and return to sender. Exactly. And that's what they don't like, but they don't want to take any accountability. That's the problem. That's the problem. You don't want to change your ways. You're still doing the same things thinking you're going to get a different outcome. And I think, once again, this is why I say it's required for the women to make a change. It's not all on the men. I think men could change. Certain men can learn and change and do better. But I think a lot of women need to change their mentality and how they think and how they view things, and to start doing things differently. Stop thinking you don't need a man. It's meant for us. We're here. We created for each other. And it's not a problem to need a man, in my opinion. I don't think it's nothing wrong with saying you need a man, because you need a man, for y'all to work together and build together. It's better than you out here struggling, depending on the government. And when the government says no, then you gonna just starve. And then you still looking around, well, all the men that, why can't they do this? You still need a man for something. You just don't want to have any, you don't want to have a man to have to tell you anything. They don't want a man to be what they would consider over them. You don't want a man to be the authority figure in the household. You don't want him to lead, because it makes you feel inferior. And women want to feel superior to men. So this is why they're in the positions that they're in now, with the idea of, oh, I don't need a man. I could raise my kids by myself, and I can do what I want. I call the shots. It's an attitude problem. It's an entitlement problem. They want to be the men. They want to be in control of everything, but they're having a hard time doing that by themselves. See, they want a simp, And now that men are not, less and less men are being simps, it's causing a problem for them, because their plan isn't working the way they thought it would. The way it worked back in the day, when these women had these simps, and these women had 3 or 4 kids, and a man will come into their life and assume the kids. And this is where we heard all of this from. I grew up hearing that too. Oh, me and my kids are a package deal. I heard this growing up. Women be having 3 or 4 kids, and a man will actually come in that household and take over that and try to be the man in the house, even though it wasn't the best situation for him to put himself in. He would do it and then regret it later, because a lot of those relationships never work out. And then you walk away, you didn't develop a relationship with the kids, and you and that mother, it don't work out. Because guess what? A lot of times those women were whores. I ain't gonna lie to you, they were hoes. They were out here hoeing, and that's how they got all those kids, and they were still doing it. And then this man thought this was something he should do. Like, no, now men are waking up and they realize, nah, player, I don't really think I should be doing that. I could do better, and I could do better by myself. So now it's put a little hitch in the giddy up for these women because they're like, well, damn, these men ain't like they used to. Yeah, but you can't take advantage of them like your mama did. You can't do that. So now you got to plan B. You got to pick something else. But it's crazy. It's crazy to see, you know, it really is just crazy to see it all play out. Thank you, Divine Photos. I appreciate you. Divine Photos once again says, imagine a man going on social media saying women ain't ish and saying men would choose blow up dolls over women. Society would mock these men. Sure would. You're absolutely right. Y'all, it's as I say, you can't say that. Even when this idea was discussed, because of course, you know, we talked about the dolls that they're creating for men and stuff like this, that's actually something that's being done. Even there were people talking about this and saying how this is going to be a bad thing and all of this. You don't like anything that gives men, you know, the opportunity to have a choice, or, you know, anything that's for men, it's being mocked. They already mocked the idea and talk about it and saying that they don't think it's a good idea. But while women are out here being hoes and running the streets and having multiple men and using men for money, it's like, oh, girl, go ahead, girl. Yeah. Why are they talking this independent foolishness that y'all know is not going to benefit them in the long run? They're all championing it and, oh my God, making it seem like it's such a great thing. Because yeah, it's women, you know, all these talk shows and all they do is glamorize that. Oh yeah, because as women, we're basically so special, and you know, we control and we decide, and we're entrepreneurs now, and we're independent, and we don't need a man. And then when 150,000 of them, how many women lost their jobs recently? So many of them lost. Then they're all crying on social media, wondering what they're gonna do. See, it's all glorified when it's going good, but when those jobs start to fail and they start to take away these security blankets and all of this stuff, now it's like, oh, the men are the problem. Why weren't y'all got our back? You know, and to me, I think there are, and once again, this is not all women, but for the ones that it applies to, all these independent boss chicks don't need no man. It's the men that they constantly complain about. I don't understand that. You don't need them. If I didn't need a man, why would I wouldn't be complaining about him. That wouldn't even apply to me. If I don't need a man, I wouldn't even care about what men are doing. Why is y'all don't need a man, but you always complaining about him? You don't need him, but you want one. Like, why? Why? If I don't need something, I'm not going to talk about it. It doesn't make sense to me. Thank you, Divine Photos. Doesn't make sense at all. What's going on, Avenger Ancestors? How are you? Let's continue.
But we're going to be fucking realistic here. Half of y'all are cheering and talking shit about women on government assistance and this, that, and the third because y'all just want to see bitches on their asses. Literally. Y'all just want to see bitches on their asses. And that's so throwed. Because even if we were down on our asses today, we would still have to pick ourselves back up because there would still be no grown-ass men there to do the fucking job that men were supposed to do. Like, what the fuck do y'all want? Y'all want women to just suffer. And I swear to God, that's the sickest shit I've ever seen. So many men wanting women to suffer. But if y'all fat, funky, bald-headed ass mamas was out here fucked up, you'd be in the streets selling dope tomorrow. Crazy how y'all will go crazy for your single mothered ass mother, but we'll talk shit about single mothers to this day. Half of y'all were raised by single mothers, and half of the problems y'all have with single mothers comes from your own funky, fat, fucking ugly mother. God, I hate you niggas. Y'all make life hard when shit's not rocket science. It's very simple stuff that shouldn't have to be explained. But
I mean, ma'am, you just said something. If they were raised by single mothers and they had problems with their single mothers, why would they want to be with a single mother? If you were raised in a single mother environment and it was trashy, why would you want to recreate that? And why would you want to be with that? That's a direct reminder of what you dealt with as a child with your single mother. Why would you look at single mothers as anything of greatness? It's like y'all, you just said something, but then you don't realize what you said. A lot of us grew up in a single mother households and we realized what that was, and you want no parts of it. And when you create children, You want to make sure that your kids don't grow up in that environment as well. So it goes back to why a lot of men won't date or take single mothers seriously. Now, some men, we're going to be honest, because some men are still out here saying that they won't date single mothers, but they do. And that's your choice. Look, I ain't mad at your choice. That's your business. I really don't give a shit, honestly, because I can't control your choice. I could say, I don't think that's a good idea. Or I could say what I wouldn't want for my sons. But at the end of the day, they're grown. They're going to make their choices. Whatever choice they make, I got to accept it, right? But I'm just saying, I could say what I wouldn't like or what I would like for my sons. But as other grown individuals, I could tell you, I don't think that'll be a good idea. But if you go and make that choice, you're on your own. There's nothing I can do about that. So I can't make you do something I think what would be better for you is your choice. So if you make that choice, I can't be nothing but accepting of it. But as far as the men who have made that choice, they've definitely spoke out of how they wouldn't do that again because it didn't pan out for them. And it's something they deem as a mistake and they won't do it again. They learn from it. So for majority of men, they realize, that's not the best road to take. So we're gonna try something else, you know? And so, you know, her saying that, yeah, like, come on, that would make more sense for men not to want to go and take on single mothers too. They're not going to want to take on women with children because they know that might not be a good outcome. And or create single mothers and, you know, take them seriously. No, they rather do it a different way because they realize those outcomes didn't pan out too well. So the smart thing to do would be to look at what, you know, the past and look at the history and choose a different way if possible. But they don't see that though. They keep doing the same old dumb stuff, thinking you gonna get the best of the outcomes, which is crazy to me. Let's continue.
8 single mothers, but talk about how your mother was a trooper and she deserves the world from you while also saying other single women and single mothers do not deserve that same luxury when they're in the same fucking situation that your mama was in. But luckily for your mama, government assistance was booming back in her time. Niggas, motherfuckers had townhouses, $1,800 motherfucking townhouses on Chief Ski. What are we talking about? Like, motherfuckers was sitting pretty back in the day. When we was kids, our mamas lived off of government assistance while it was booming. Now government assistance is shit, and we're in a fucking economy that wants us to fucking die. With a Cheeto puff for a fucking president who wants everyone to act like the fucking Nazis. Exactly. So again, to sit here and say that you want to see single mothers fail and fall on their asses is fucking insane. Because your fucking mama should have fell on her ass, but she also already did when she birthed half of y'all. When your mama's birthed you bitch ass motherfuckers, she already failed. Then she kept your punk ass alive long enough to claim she did a good job, but the hoe didn't put nothing in your brain. Crazy fucking work. Y'all irritate me every day.
Take away child support, food stamps, Section 8, and Medicaid. I bet some women will be more cautious of who they sleep with.
Where are the celebrities? Where are the mothers? Where is Kim Kardashian? Where is Cardi B? Where is Taylor Swift? Where is Beyonce? 40 million people are about to lose their food assistance, and they do not care because they are part of the system. Wake up! Nobody needs Skims when they're actually skin and bone. Nobody needs 12 albums with the same music. Wake up, they don't care. They want you to starve. Starve them. Do not buy their stuff. They want children to starve.
Now there's always one like this on social media crashing out like this. Baby, this be wearing me out. I ain't gonna even lie.
Oh my God.
There's always one or two of them like this that be screaming and crying. Oh my God. Oh, where's the celebrity? Oh my God. She's panicking and crashing out in her own goddamn house. They always be some like this that just be screaming and being extra for no reason. Like, why would y'all be looking for celebrities to come take care of you? Like, come on now. Those people, they making money off y'all because they know they can. Like, what? So what? They making money off you. They ain't trying to give it what they supposed to come out and give all the people losing their SNAP benefits money. Why would they do that? They just made money off y'all. You think they're gonna turn around and give it back to you? And why is that their responsibility? Why? Jamel says single moms got the best snacks. Do they? Do they though? What kind of snacks they got? Thank you, Jamel 843. I appreciate you. Let's continue.
Wake up!
Oh, that's it. She said, wake up, baby. I thought there was more.
Oh my God.
Wake up to what, honey? What you want the people to do? You want them to come out their pockets and give all y'all the amount of SNAP benefits that you would get monthly for the month of November? Why should they do that? They got families to take care of too. This is what I'm saying. I just think, once again, I think the programs are necessary for people who really need it, but for the ones who really don't and just taking advantage of it, no. You got, if you're able-bodied and you could work, go work. Everybody got to work. Because even the SNAP benefits that a lot of them get is not enough. They still got to go and get extra money or however they work or do something. I just think it's crazy. I think it's crazy. Jamil says, love how she got progressively angrier, LOL. Right. What that's going to do, though? That ain't going to change nothing. You have no power in the world. You're just going to be mad and screaming. And what? And then once this is over, for December, watch. They're going to, thank you, Jamil, again, for the super chat. For December, they're going to give you November and December's benefits, and everybody going to be quiet and go back to normal per usual. They're going to go back to they doing what they was doing once they get, because that's what's going to happen. The government going to open up and they're going to give them the month for November, December, and boom, they're going to keep it moving. But it's not like, they're going to learn from this to say, you know what, damn, I got to get off the government's tit. I got to really try to figure this out and get my stuff together, because there's no way my kids should be dangled with or played with like that. Like, oh, I can't feed them. You can't. So you have no kind of money nowhere to feed your kids at all. They're just going to go without for 1 month. That's just insane to me. Irving, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, I wonder what their therapist would think if they saw this chaos crashing out on social media. Well, the ones who are in therapy, right, probably would tell them they need more therapy or something, child. Thank you, C. Irvin. I appreciate you. Captain Caveman says, she gonna need EBT for cough drops, LOL. Right. Damn, you need EBT for everything. Oh my God. Thank you, Captain Caveman. Yeah, it's just crazy, y'all. And let me make this clear. I am not against EBT or government assistance for people who need it. I made it very clear, and I'll make it clear again. I think for elderly people who, just need it, they don't even give them much. A lot of the elderly people get like $35 a month. A lot of elderly people that's enough to, what that's going to get you? Get you a thing of juice and some grapes. You ain't getting much with that. They don't even get much. And I think, but I think they get like the Medicaid, Medicare, whatever. So they need that because they cannot work. But I think, and for people who may be disabled, who can't work, have a condition, disability that really prevents them from working, they should be able to get it. And once again, I think for working class people who sometimes fall on hard times, and you need a little boost while you're down to help you up, I think those are the ones should get it. The people who work hard and you've worked so many years and hours, you should be able to get that assistance till you get yourself back on your feet. But if you're able-bodied and you can work and you have nothing wrong with you, there's no way you should be sitting back living off of government assistance, Section 8, or any of that. You got to get your ass up and go work just like everybody else. Every able-bodied else person should be, got to pay for food, got to pay for medical care. You got to pay for that, pay for health insurance and all that, while able-bodied people are sitting back just getting all the assistance, don't pay no rent, don't pay for no medical care, don't pay for nothing. You just sit back and somebody give it all to you. You able-bodied and you can work? Nah, I don't think that should be that way. I really don't. So that's my thoughts on that. Jamil says, have eaten a lot of great hood cuisine off EBT. Like what, Jamil? What hood cuisine have you eaten? Because yeah, they be eating good now. You know what I mean? People be eating good. For real. Yeah. But then if they don't get the assistance, they don't eat good because they can't afford to eat like that by themselves, which is crazy to me. Thank you, Jamil 843. I appreciate you. We're gonna move on, you guys. I want to move on to this here, the brick lady. I want to shout out to Queen Accountability, y'all. I want to go ahead and just pull this up for a second. Remember her? So this is Rhoda Osmond. Remember we talked about her on this channel where she claimed that a black man threw a brick at her face when her face was swollen. And, she said a bunch of black men stood around and washing it and do anything. She went to the hospital and said, that she was hit with a brick, when they actually found out that it wasn't, a brick. We said when I covered this, her face didn't look like she was hit with a brick. It looked like something had swelled her face up, or it was some type of allergic reaction. They're claiming it could have been saline or something injected into the skin that caused it. We don't fully know that part. I don't fully know that part, but shout out to the queen of accountability, because she actually was on this case from day one, and she stayed through this and kept with it. And now this lady is found guilty, baby. She has been found guilty of lying. Let's look at, I'm going to show the charges. And so here it says brick lady charged with theft by deception, because you remember she had a GoFundMe, and I think she has to pay that money back. Brick lady found guilty after lying about brick attack, sentenced to 90 days in jail. About what was that? Let me see. I'm gonna show you the real amount. She's gonna have 10 years probation, child. Here it is. So this is her case file. So the offense is theft. It says it was an appeal status. 30,000 upwards of 150,000. I think that was because of the GoFundMe. So the case disposition at this point, it says probation. Case completion date was recently October the 29th. So this was a couple of days ago. Defendant status, she's in jail. Her bond amount is $50,000. And then it says next or last setting date, it says October the 30th. But it goes on to tell you exactly, once again, what she was charged with. So Rhoda Osmond, here it is. And it shows her booking date was October the 29th of 2025. It was a couple of days ago. Out date, they have nothing there. That's her case number, which states October 29th of 2025. Court date, October the 30th. It shows her fine balance, $50,000. That's her bond amount. But basically, yeah, she gets 90 days in jail. She's going to be on probation. And she has to, looks like she has to pay that money back. So this was something, there were a lot of people on social media who believed this woman. There were a lot of people, content creators, who believed her story. I didn't believe her story. When Daphne, Queen Accountability, talked about it, I agree with her 100%, because, I mean, come on. You could see that this lady, her story did not add up. There was also other stories prior to this where she claimed certain things when it wasn't the truth. And here we are. Now she's going to do time, and she's going to have to pay for that lie. But there were so many women on social media and, on GoFundMe who contributed to this GoFundMe, saying that men hate to believe women. Everything is blamed on men for some reason. That the men that want to believe it and this and that. Every time something happens to a woman, no, sometimes you just got to be logical. And a lot of women aren't logical; they're emotional. So you go off of your feelings and your emotions, and a lot of times that's why a lot of times you're wrong, because your feelings cloud your judgment. Your feelings cloud your judgment. So when you feel a certain way, you just go with that, without looking at the facts, without being logical about what you see, and not being delusional, because you want to believe so wholeheartedly that men just hate women and just do all men just hate women and they do crazy stuff. But it leaves out the idea that a woman can lie, that women do lie. Y'all know that for a fact, that women lie. Shit, a lot of people lie. So this is why I say you got to be logical. You know what I'm saying? You got to think logically. You got to stop using your emotions for everything. And look at what's there. There are women who are abused by men and taken advantage of. It exists. But usually when that happens, there's things that align with those circumstances. There's evidence that could be proven. There are certain things that make sense when the story is being told. When somebody is telling a story just because she's a woman but she's telling it and nothing's lining up, you mean to tell me as a woman, you cannot question another woman? When y'all know women lie, y'all lie to each other. So you can't question what she's saying, even though this is not adding up. Instead of saying, wait a minute, this is not adding up. Let's look a little deeper. Let's get the facts and let's get the information first before we jump to conclusion. No, as women, we're supposed to just, and when it comes to women, men and women, everybody's supposed to just believe what you're saying, even though it doesn't make sense, even though it is not adding up. We don't have to wait for no evidence or nothing. We should just believe all women. That is a narrative that is just insane to me. But we can't believe all men. If a man says somebody did something to him and it was a woman, oh, wow, then that's questionable. This is why I say this has to stop. No, I'm open and understanding to the truth. what's the truth? If you know, if something is not adding up, I want to look deeper into it. I want to make sure we're doing the right thing. I don't want to jump to conclusions and just say, oh, as a woman, I just believe her. Let me give her some money. And then it turns out to be a lie. None of those, nobody comes back and apologizes and say, you know what, I was wrong. Yeah, I just jumped to conclusion, because you hate men or whatever. Like, come on. Even if you hated men, be logical, be reasonable. And a lot of women aren't reasonable because you hate men and you just want to believe anything any woman says. This is how y'all get taken advantage of. This is how y'all get taken advantage of when it comes to relationships. Women lie to you straight up, take your money. You get scammed by women. You get scammed by people because you want to believe that. And then when it happens, it's like, oh, we hear crickets then. But yeah, she lied. And Daphne was at the helm of this and pulled all this out because there was a lot of back and forth between Daphne and this lady, Rhoda Osmond or Odman or whatever her name is. And, so listen, shout out to Daphne, Queen of Accountability, because she stayed on this, baby. And now this lady is suffering the consequences of her actions. And if the same way women want men to be held accountable for their actions, you need to be held accountable for yours. You shouldn't be just brushed off and just believed automatically. That's very dangerous. That really is. And that's what women are dealing with now because they're used to just being believed. And what they do is they start to take advantage of the situation. This is why you have women who are, the Me Too movement coming up, just making stuff up and lying on men because they know they could get away with it. That is just not something that, something that should be acceptable. That should not be acceptable. Jamil 843, once again, thank you for the super chat, says, I'll never forget all the panderers and leaders of the sisterhood condemning Black men on Twitter for this. Same with Juicy Smollett. Exactly. Yeah, people were just, just trashing men. I'm like, see, this is what they do. And no man even did that lady anything. And what they say, this woman is Somalian, right? And she just sit there and said Black men just stood back and watched while she got bashed in the head with a. I'm like, this is crazy. And everybody just ran with it. So she's going to be doing her 90 days or whatever. I guess she have she's $50,000 bond. So if she pay a bond, maybe I don't know. She's going to have probation. Oh, and she also is banned, I think, from social media for 10 years or something like that. If I'm not mistaken, she's also banned from social media also. So she ain't gonna be able to just get on there and lie. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Jamil. Once again, I appreciate you. This is crazy though. Avenge the Ancestor says, love all you do, DeeDee. Keep up the good work. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it. Yeah, so it was just crazy. And once again, I saw people on these social media, YouTube streets, believing that lady. Every word she said, and I'm like, what? And listen, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. If I say, I'm gonna tell you, and it's just me. If I say something on here that I thought was one thing and it turns out to be something, I will come back and apologize. I have no problem with doing that because it doesn't really take any skin off my back. If I say something or misquote something or say something and I'm corrected on it, then I'm going to apologize for that, and I'm gonna try my best not to do it again. I don't have a problem with that. Because it doesn't, I don't know what it is. Why do people hate to admit when they're wrong? It just makes you better when you can realize, what, damn, okay, I was wrong about that. Why is that so hard for people to do? I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I will apologize for my misquote or misstep or if I misspoke. Or if I thought one thing was one way and then somebody informed me that it was actually the other way, I will make a public apology. Like, I apologize. I was wrong, y'all. Please forgive me. And that's it. Move on. What the hell else can why is that so hard to do? I don't have a problem with it. I'm just telling y'all right now, I do not whatsoever. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Look, okay, my bad. I'd be quick to be like, my bad. I didn't know. If I said something, somebody please correct me. My bad. I didn't know. I don't know. Because I think a lot of times when you claim to know everything, you think you know everything, it's going to be hard for you to apologize. I know I don't know everything and I don't want to know everything. I ain't no expert on all things. Hell no. I believe we're all works in progress. I could give my opinion on certain things. My opinion is not always factual to everybody. It's an opinion. You know what I'm saying? I'll be the first to tell you, hey, look, my bad. Hey, I don't claim to know everything. I don't want to know everything. I learn something new every day for sure, because I'm open and receptive to it. But I don't, if I'm wrong, my bad. That's all. I'm my bad. Keep it moving, baby. There's more, there's other things that you need to be concerned about than being wrong. There's more to life. Like, life is short. Ain't nobody got time to be sitting around. Shoot, I just saw a video of a man talking about how short life is and how you shouldn't be complaining over the small things. That's a reminder. I need that reminder every day. I need to be reminded every day that life is short and that you're supposed to enjoy what you have and appreciate what you have. Because tomorrow it could not be here. You could not be here. So use the time that you have. And I need to be reminded of that too, because I get in my own feelings and complain about this and that. My husband, tell me sometimes I could be negative, but I'm glad I have him to tell me that, because I need to hear that. Because a lot of times you take for granted what you have and you think that your time here is this limitless. Like you just got forever. No, baby, life is short. Stop complaining about the little things and the things that really don't matter. Enjoy the time that you have in any way, that shape or form that you can. Enjoy your life. Be grateful for what you have. That's where I need to hear that every day. Because I constantly need to be reminded how good I have it. And I have a loving family, and we're healthy and we're here. So the little things don't matter. This is why I try to say, listen, focus on what you got and be happy. And if you're not happy with it, do something about it. But don't go around. And this is the word for the day. I'm going to start doing a word for the day because I think it could be helpful to people. I just thought of that. So I'm going to start doing a word of the day. If it's a short little video, I'll do it because I think a word of the day. So look out for that. Word of the day. Let me write it down so I don't forget. Word of the day. Look out for that, y'all. Word of the day. It just came in my head. Word of the day. I'm going to start doing the word of the day. So when I come up with something that could be beneficial, I'm going to do a little quick video on it and post it for you guys. Because I think it's important, because people forget, look, life is not forever. We all got to die. We all got to die. I say that a lot because I need to hear it a lot. Because we get caught up in our feelings and emotions and all of that. And we forget that. Enjoy when you wake up, because somebody didn't wake up this morning. Somebody wasn't able to come and speak. Somebody is somewhere on their way out. Somebody is suffering physically. Somebody is in a bad position. And they're not in the best of situations, and they can't do what we're able to do. So as long as you're able to speak and you're able to thrive, and you're blessed to wake up and go on with your day and thrive and do what you do, be appreciative and happy. A lot of times we wake up and be like, oh, goddamn. We need to change that. You don't wake up, oh, Lord Jesus. I'm guilty of it. Wake up tired. No, wake up saying you're grateful that you woke up because somebody didn't. So that's the things I think about. And I think far too often we complain about the small things when life is so much more than that. And you don't get to enjoy your life worried about the little things, as opposed to ignoring the little things and seeing the brighter, happier side of things. You know what I'm saying? That's a word for me too, baby. That's a word for me. And maybe, hopefully it's a word for others as well. So yeah, that's how I look at it. And I just think, people need to think more about that. That's all I'm saying. Jamil says they mostly unruly women are too arrogant and elitist to believe they are ever wrong. Exactly. Yeah. And that's an entitlement. You think you're superior to men, and you don't think anything you do or say is wrong. You're always right. And that's why they by themselves. Thank you, Jamil. That's why they by themselves, because nobody don't want to deal with that. You think you everything in 10 bags of chips. You perfect. You do no wrong. Right. When we clearly see you're doing wrong every chance you get. But you don't see it. This is why I say delusional mentality is not good. It's dangerous. So shout out to Queen of Accountability once again, because she actually made this happen with this Rhoda Osma lady. Now, hopefully this is a lesson to other women who think that they can just come out and lie on men, maybe they'll think twice about doing it, because now you know there could be consequences behind it. You know what I mean? And that's all we're saying. Everybody has to have consequences. You just can't get up here and do anything you want and expect people to just rally behind you and say, oh, she's a queen, don't do her anything. Like, no, hell no, baby. There are consequences. Listen to this, and I want to get y'all thoughts on it. Here we go.
Is the way to go.
Why do you think so many black men are choosing white women nowadays?
Because white women do what you want, they want you to do. You don't gotta ask them twice. Tell them once, they do what you want them to do.
So black or white women?
White.
Why white over black women?
I say that because my wife is white. You know what I mean? My wife is white. White is the way to go. I love black women now, but my wife is white, so white is the way to go.
Okay, what? Let me play that again.
White is the way to go.
Why do you think so many black men are choosing white women nowadays?
Because white women do what you want, they want you to do. You don't gotta ask them twice. Tell them once, they do what you want them to do.
So black or white women?
White.
Why white over black women?
I say that because my wife is white. You know what I mean? My wife is white. White is the way to go. I love black women now, but my wife is white, so white is the way to go.
Well, okay, what's y'all thoughts? All I'm thinking is the way he was saying. He was like, yeah, because white women's is the way to go, because white women's, they'll do. Okay, what are y'all thoughts on that? Please chime in the chat. What's y'all thoughts on it? Now, I disagree, and I'm gonna tell you why. I don't think white women's is the way to go. I think I say this all the time. It's not about whether the woman is. Now we know that there's a cultural difference in who was raised to be wives and all that. That play a part in it, right? But just to say white women's is the way to go, that all of them insinuates that all of them are just going to do whatever you say. That's not true. That's just frankly not true. It's not true. There are some unruly white women's too. Okay, they don't all do what you want them to do. That's all I'm saying. There might be maybe you could say that maybe there's a higher ratio of them that might be a little bit more cooperative, because a lot of them they're more married than we are on the black side. There are more white women married than black women. So maybe that's a sign that they're more cooperative, or maybe that's a sign that they were raised to be married, and that's something that was a part of their culture. But I know there are a lot of unruly white women. They aren't, you know what I'm saying? It just depends on the person. I think culturally in the black community, from what I've seen, a lot of us we were raised, especially the ones who were raised by single mothers, we're not raised to be wives. We're not raised and taught that, oh, you need to be married, and you need to be married by this time, and I need some grandbabies. I see it in our community, but it's a lot of black women were not raised, versus white women and young white women that I was around. They were raised that they need to get married, that they should get married, and they need to start young. That's why they're in college. They be engaged in college and all those things. But that still is not because they marry more does not mean that they're the most they're just, they'll do whatever you say. No, because there are a lot of combative white women. There are a lot of feminist white women. They got married because they have husbands. That's the difference. I think in our community, we weren't taught to get married. So, and a lot of our women adopted that feminist mindset. So now you're a feminist and you're single though, and you've become single mothers more than other, some would say more than other cultures. But a lot of those women are feminists. They have husbands though. So they're feminists with husbands. And all of that, they just got married. They're not necessarily listening to their husbands. In fact, they fought against being able, listen to a man and a man telling them what to do. They're the ones who started the feminist movement and recruited black women to be a part of it and push it. So yeah, they're not absolutely like the ones who sit back and just listen to their husbands and do what they say all the time. No, I think that's person specific. I think there are women who listen, whether they white, black, green, or blue, and there are women who won't. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends on the person, in my opinion. Let's see what y'all are saying. Captain Caveman says Pookie came up in his mind. They the way to go. to jail. Pookie came up in his mind. They the way to go to jail. Baby, Captain Caveman. Thank you for the super chat. Jamil says, Black women have been great to me, but the Latinas been choosing heavy lately. Don't do the Beckys. LOL. Okay. All right, Jamil. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, it depends on the people. Jay Tillman say, I know some horrible white women. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It ain't, I said this before, it's not, this is why I talk about women who talk about divesting, like, oh, let's go to there's a white man because he's gonna do this and gonna child. I wish I could find that video of that white man saying he dated Black women who specifically told him they only dating him because he white. He's like, well, I'm not special. I ain't got all this money. I ain't doing this and I ain't doing that. They didn't care because he was white. So because he white, y'all gonna risk it all. And some of y'all don't come out of that. You know what I mean? You go in there thinking you just gonna, he white and he's right. And he's telling you, I'm white, but I ain't right. And I don't know why you trying to come after me. They be fat and all kinds of stuff. And they like, why y'all want me? Because I'm white. I don't have nothing going on for myself. They'll tell you. And you still want me. And I don't really want you like that. I don't really date Black women. I just want to take a chance, Like, it's crazy. But they starting to see now. Like, come on. But a Black man got to be Superman. Shit. Baby. So, yeah, it's not about, in my opinion, it's not about race. It's about the person themselves, what type of person you are. You know what I mean? All that don't have really nothing to do with it. And I think a lot of people are getting messed up because of that, because they really want to believe that. It's not that it's the truth. It's just that they really want to believe it. I got one more clip I want to share with you guys, and then I'll open the panel. If anybody want to come up and give their thoughts, you will be able to do so. But let's move on to this next clip that I have for y'all. It's a short one, but I want to get y'all thoughts on it. Make sure y'all are hitting the like button. Please hit the like button. Like button, you guys. Hit the like button. Let's check out this real quick.
If a man cannot fully financially provide for you, he's unqualified to be your man. He's also unqualified to be your husband.
Qualified, huh?
Let me play that one more time, baby. These be the ones.
If a man cannot fully financially provide for you, he's unqualified to be your man. He's also unqualified to be your husband.
Qualified, huh?
Now, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but why is it the ones that look, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, you talking about who's qualified for what? That's why Angry Man, shout out to Angry Man, say qualified, huh? What do you think you qualified for? If you're saying a man who can't provide fully and do all this, he's not qualified to be like, are you qualified to be a wife for the man that you want? See, this is what I'm saying. It's the audacity for me, how a lot of women always talking about what a man has to be and what he ain't and all of these other things. When you look at the women who are saying these things, there are multiple things you could look at and literally point out and say, baby, you are not what you think you are. And let me ask you, what do you qualify for? Hell, y'all couldn't even ask what you brought to the table. What you bring to the table. They got mad at that. What do you think you qualify for? They're going to get mad at that. Do you think a man of status will want you right off the back? Let me see your face with no makeup, out the shower, plain face. We see no hair, just plain, no hair extensions, just your face. No makeup, no nothing. And let's see if a man of quality, a quality man, a man that you deem special, the man that you believe, could qualify for you, let's see if you qualify for him. And see, that's the real problem. A lot of these women have become entitled, baby. I will say it. And they really all think that they're 10s. They really all think that they're 10s. They really think that they all qualify for this high value man. They really do. And I'm saying this too. Go look at the men that you would deem a high value man and see, and let him show you the type of women that he's dated. Tell him to give you a lineup of the women that he's dated in the past, or have him show you a picture of the women that he would want to date and how he want them to look, and then just compare yourself to it, baby, and see if you measure up to the type of women that he would want in his life. Just based off of looks alone. The other stuff y'all can get into, and see if you measure up to that. And if you can't even measure up to that, then what makes you think you have all of the qualities that he will want in a woman? See, this is why these women always like to say, "Oh, men will humble you," because y'all need to be humbled in a lot of cases. And not all women think like this, but I'm just saying there are the ones that do. You know, you really have taken this too far. And you really just think that you're everything since sliced bread, and that a man has to live up to your expectations and you don't have to live up to his. That's crazy to me. But this is how a lot of women think. No matter how you look, no matter how rough around the edges you are, no matter how, you could be obese. You know what I'm saying? You could look like Tarzan. I mean, you could look like, you know what I'm saying? What's that? You could look like I don't know, the Crip Keeper. I mean, you can look like anybody, but you won't talk about expectations. What a man should be this and should be that. Then who's the person say? That's why what Kevin Samuels did was so important, because he would ask, okay, that's how you feel. Okay, cool. What's your dress size? 14. What would you rate yourself? Fresh face, straight out of shower, no extensions, no makeup, no nothing. 8. And then what's your dress size? How much did you weigh? How much do you weigh? And all of that. Oh, 180, 215 pounds, How tall are you? 5'1". Boom. Then he put that boom, 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 boom. He play that sound, because it's like, girl, like, come on now. You ain't gonna qualify for the type of man you think you should qualify for. Your feelings and what you believe really go out the window once you look at the facts and you look at reality. You don't qualify for you don't measure up to what you want, what you believe you do. But because the Bonnett crew sisterhood that told you, girl, we all 10s, girl. You should expect, girl, you should have some standards. You should have this and that and that. And you should ask for this, because you're not asking for the right stuff, girl. Let me tell you what to do. You should be asked for this and that and that and that. And then when you don't get it, you wondering, oh, something must be wrong with the men. No, look at yourself. Then when you say, oh, y'all are too big, why don't you lose some weight? If you 5'1", 5'2", you should weigh about 110 pounds, probably, or 105 or something like that. Oh, that's too skinny. Oh my God, I'm gonna be meat and skin and bones. No, you won't. You're just used to being bigger. Like, so when you actually, and then they don't want to look at BMI. Why? Because that tell the truth. You don't want to look at stuff that's the truth. You want to look at the delusional aspect. Oh, men like them big. What a men saying you too big though. I think men like a little meat on your bones. I think a lot of them do, especially black. Hell, white men too. Some of them too. But if you are still in shape, I don't think they saying just be big all over like that. Titties at the top, titties at the bottom, titties on the side, titties in the back. Then the fat pockets in the back on each side look like 2 titties on the back of your back. Nobody, man, don't want no back titties. My God, and side ones and bottom and top, like, and just fat all around, like fat coming out your neck. And, I don't think most men want that. You want a nice looking, even if she got a little curve or body, but she's still in shape. I don't think nothing wrong with that. But no, they taking this fat and thinking that this is fine and men's supposed to accept that. Everything big. You take off your bra, the titties drop way down to your knees and stuff. I don't think men, that's going to be really attractive to most men. Most men don't want that. You want a fairly fit woman. And especially if y'all haven't had any kids. If she hasn't had any kids, you want a woman who's in shape enough so when she has kids, if she gained a little bit of weight, she's still decent. That she don't go from nice and fit, slim to big mama, Jesus, with one child. Like, come on, like that usually don't happen. That happens, but I'm just saying you still gotta make sure you're decent, fit. That's what men want. That, and then they don't want to accept that. Well, you should take me as I am. If you don't want me at my worst, why you gotta be at your worst? Why you can't go work on yourself so you're not at your worst, especially because while you're looking for a man. You looking for a man, and then and especially because you have super duper high expectations for the man. So you would think that if you have super duper high expectations for the man, right, that you will come to the table looking pretty decent. That's what they mean with something to offer. That's to show that you do take care of yourself. That you have put in some effort because of your expectations. You know what I'm saying? Like you have expectations, but you have some, but you also deliver, some too. You coming with, oh, okay, look, I go to the gym, I work out. We could go to the gym together. So it's an entitlement to me. It's like, oh, I want the most, but offer the very least. You want all of these things, but you offer very little, and you think that's how it's supposed to be. Because you're a man. He a man, so he's supposed to accept anything. And as a woman, you're supposed to have all the expectations. That's crazy. Yeah, that's not how that go. That's not how that go. Captain Caveman said, is that her Halloween mask? Oh, gravy drinking face. Oh, Lord, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that with you. You're wrong for that. Thank you for the super chat, though. I appreciate you. I ain't gonna even go. Looking like Uncle Charlie. Oh, which Uncle Charlie? I don't know. Or maybe Uncle Ruckus. I'm just saying. Thank you, Captain Caveman. Jamil says, shopped women are like broke men. Society doesn't care about their opinions. Oh, my God. Damn. Oh, thank you, Jamil. I appreciate you. Child, but that's what I'm saying. Rage King Leo says, hi, Dee. Just wanted to say hi. Hi, how are you? Hope all is well with you. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Rage King Leo also says, then call you then call you LGBT when you tell them the truth. Exactly. Right. Y'all already know what to expect. They do. Yeah. Thank you once again for the super chat. I appreciate you. So, yeah, it's just, it's just mind boggling. That's all, to say the least. That's what I'm saying. There's always the ones that have questionable face cards who always have the most, even the men realize, why is it always the 2s and the 3s that have all these expectations? There are a lot of beautiful women that don't have these expectations, by the way. There are a lot of them that if you talk to them, they're a little bit more realistic. It's always the ones that look like Uncle Ruckus who have the highest expectations. And I don't know why that is. And they really, because they've drank the Kool-Aid and they really believe what they're saying. This is why I say that's the delusional aspect of the way they think. You're delusional, so you believe what you're saying is makes sense. When in reality, it does not. And I'm not saying that you can't have standards, because you should have standards, but geez, Lord, but to what extent, though? You got to understand that, and always be the ones who want to tell men, date on your level. Well, if the men dated on their level, I don't think it would exclude a whole bunch of these women, because they're under the impression that because they've dealt with Pookies and Ray Rays, that most men are on the Pookie and Ray Ray level, when a lot of men are not. If the men date on their level, baby, it would exclude the majority of y'all, because your level is where you place it. If you have standards for yourself and you know that you bring certain things to the table and you have, standards and all of that, then your level is where you place it. And a lot of these women, because first off, just the wigs alone would exclude a lot of these women. These women with the BBLs and the women with kids, and that is the majority of you. So if a man has standards and doesn't have any kids and don't want kids, want single mothers, baby, a lot of y'all are already excluded. You don't even got to go into the money aspect of it. Just being a single mother excludes you right there. So when y'all talk about on y'all level, what level are y'all? What are you basing your men need to date on their levels? Well, if you date on your level, what you think your level is? And this is why a lot of women use money and their accolades, their diplomas, degrees, because they think that automatically puts them on a high level when it doesn't. Because that's men ain't looking for that from you. The things he looking for from you, you don't want to give him. You don't want to give him a fit body, a small body, low or no body count. That's too late for that because you already got 3 kids and 3 baby daddies or more. So low body counts out the window. Single motherhood out the window. These men don't want that. That's part of their standards. Also, a part of their standards, they want fit women, at least fit in shape, not all big, and that's out the window. Because once again, a lot of these women got titties on their backs. So that you don't. So how y'all gonna get the man y'all want when the man that y'all want, y'all already disqualified? I'm just saying, and I don't want women to take this the wrong way, but I want to be real because once again, if it don't apply to you, let it fly. This is not who I'm talking to. But for a lot of women who think that because your degrees, you have a degrees and you get masters and PhDs, that qualify you for the man you want, it does not, boo-boo. And it's not trying to make you feel bad. And I'm not trying to tear you down or none of that. I'm trying to tell y'all to be more realistic. That's all. And it's not saying that you can't, you who knows, you might luck up and find a man who just like you because in spite of all of that. And if you could find them, go ahead. I'm all for it. I'm not mad because once again, I have no stake in that. I don't want what you're looking for. I already got what I want. So it's like, if you could get what you want, more power to you. That's all I'm saying. But more than not, most women are having trouble getting what they want. Most women are having trouble getting what they believe and feel they deserve. And that's why they're having a hard time. And that's why they, talking about, well, the good men. No, the men are out there. It's just, you gotta accept the fact that what you deem high class and high tier for the man you want, that's not how he look at you. That's not what he's looking for from you. The things men want is very different from what women want from men. See, women want a provider. You want a protector. You want a man. You want stability. Men aren't looking for stability in that same way that you are. They're looking for commitment, though, which I think that makes sense. As a woman, you should be looking for commitment as well. They're looking for commitment. They want cooperation. They want relatively attractive women, fit women, and you can't say submissive anymore because that's oh my God, I ain't gonna be no, but they want submissive, meaning they want cooperative women who know how to work with a man, know how to be with a man, know how to treat a man, know how to talk to him. You know what I mean? And offer something. The things that, and a lot of these women like, oh, I don't cook and clean. I watched the video the other day on TikTok where the one was saying, y'all want is women to cook and clean. Y'all act like that's so hard to do. Isn't that what you do already? Most of y'all have, I'll never understand that. Most of y'all, hell, most of y'all already got kids. Don't you have to cook and clean for your kids? What should you order out every day for the kids? Your kids need healthy meals too. Like ain't nothing wrong with eating out here and there, but they need healthy meals for your kids. You want them to have the best, healthy outcomes, right? But a lot of them don't care about that. Why? Because they're unhealthy. If you got titties on your back, clearly you're not trying to eat healthily. You're eating whatever you want, doing whatever you want, and whatever outcome you get is whatever outcome you get. You got to understand, when you choose to do whatever you want, you don't have no type of standards or boundaries for yourself. You just want to do whatever you want. You don't give a damn what nobody think. Well, you're going to get whatever you want outcomes. That means the outcomes you get is going to be whatever. There's no specific, goal in mind. You're going to get whatever. That's like when you don't have standards or you don't move in a certain way, your outcome is going to be whatever. And typically when the outcome is whatever, they don't like it because you had no real goal. You had no real objectives. You had no real plans. You didn't say, oh, by the time I'm this age, I want to be married, nor are you planning for that. So you're not planning for a husband and, kids, and you want to do this, and you have no plan. Now, just because we said plans don't mean they will always go that way, but at least you have some type of guidance of where you would like to be and somewhat of a time frame, so you can at least go off of that. But if you're sitting back just doing whatever, oh, I ain't really think about that, I don't care, you're going to get whatever, I don't really care outcomes. And you can't turn around and complain because you never had a plan or goal or nothing. And I don't think a lot of people think about that. They only think about it when the outcomes don't reflect what they feel and believe, the delusion. when that delusional aspect is showing itself, then you care. Like when you're not getting the outcomes you felt and believe that you should manifest, now it's a problem. But if you go back to the beginning and you start asking these questions, hey, what was your plan for your life? What you want to be? Did you consider husband? Did you consider family young? What was your plan? No, I just want to be an entrepreneur. I want to get my business off the ground. You get your business off the ground and you do that. And you work on that. Have you gotten to the goals? A lot of times, no, I haven't reached the goals where I want to be in my business, but I'm still working towards it. And you 40 years old. Okay. So now I want a family. I would love to have a family one day. I would love to have a husband one day at 40. One day, but my business, I've still got to get my business off the ground because I'm not where I want. So how long you think it's going to take to get your business off the ground to where you want it to be? And how long do you think it's going to take for you to find a husband and create these kids when you know it's going to be more difficult for you to have kids the older you get? So once again, I just think it's something that a lot of women don't think about until they're in this critical stage. By the time you're in that critical stage, it's too late. And it's unfair to start blaming men because you chose poorly and you didn't think about this when you were younger. You instead of just admitting that you made poor decisions and you weren't ready or whatever the reasons may have been, just accept that and stop blaming men. I don't think it's fair to do that. Jamil 843 says, you watched the Boondocks, DeeDee, LOL. I did not, I swear. I did not watch the Boondocks. Is that relating to that? I didn't watch it though. Thank you, Jamil. Jamil also says, random, but who won? Cash Money or No Limit? Oh. That's my peeps though, too. And I love both Cash Money and No Limit, but that's going to be hard. I think my husband went with No Limit. I might have to go with No Limit. Even though I mean, come on now. We listen. They used to do the DJs, when we were younger in the projects with all of the music, BG, Hot Boys, all of it. You know what I'm saying? So I grew up listening to that, and so I'm gonna go with No Limit because my husband went with No Limit, even though I like Cash Money. You know what I'm saying? And I like Juvenile. I like Juvenile. I'm used to hearing it. I grew up listening to it basically. But I like a lot of I don't know. I almost want to say Cash Money, but I'm gonna go with my husband with No Limit. But yeah, I'm used to both of them though, y'all. Who won thank you, Jamil. Who do you think won? Do you think Cash Money or No Limit? Which one? That's Trey. Trey says Mr. Oh, I guess that says Mr. Trey Taylor. I think that's what that said. Trey says Master P drop body. Show was over. No Limit for me. Yeah, my husband said No Limit. So we're gonna go with No Limit. Thank you, Jamil. Jamil, which one you think won? C. Irvin says Juvenile, slow motion for me. Yeah, oh my God. That's why I'm saying there's a lot of songs on the Cash Money side that I like, that I just like, but there's a lot of good ones. What do y'all think about Mia X? Damn, she's still doing it. She don't even look bad for her age, honestly. Thank you, C. Irvin. But yeah, both were good in my opinion. C. Irvin says I didn't watch it though, need to catch the replay. Yeah, it's they got to keep Baby off the mic though. I'm just saying, because he could start rambling and falling asleep. I'm just saying, he got to stay off the mic because he gets a little too long-winded. You know what I'm saying? And then he be falling asleep drinking. I'm like, oh my God, you got to watch him with that. All right, so let me remove her off my screen. because I done seen enough. All right. Let's see. Mia X albums re-entered the top 100 after the verses. That was cool. That's good for her. That verses proved New Orleans in the fabric of music heavy. Oh, for sure. For sure. For sure. For sure. Yep. I mean, that's a fact, Trey. Let me see. Make sure y'all hit the like button, please. Hit the like button, y'all. All right, y'all. If y'all don't have nothing else, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Shamara DeVoe. Let me see. I'm gonna add you. Can you hear me? Because a lot of times I try to pull you up, I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Nope. So I don't think she wanna pop up. I don't know what's going on. Thank you, Successful MD. Let's see. I wanted to see if I had this other clip of this. Hold on.
Shit.
Let me show y'all this clip real quick, and then I'm gonna wrap this up, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up with y'all. Tell me what y'all think of this. Let's see here. Hit the like button, y'all. Check this out. Now, it says mother demands $100 each week from her daughter's paycheck, sparking online debate. So the mother is demanding that her daughter, who lives with her, pay her $100 a week, which is sparking an online debate. Rage King says, I heard Birdman mess up the show. Birdman, look. Birdman, he's long-winded and he get to talking too much, and then they want to take the mic from him anyway. He go to get to talking and then he go to saying some other stuff, and I'm just happy that they got through the whole verses without a fight, right? And nobody ain't got shot. I'm just saying. I'm just glad they got through it without, no beef. Because he was already starting like, if you ain't with us, then F you, either you're for us or you're against us. It's all here and there. It's like, we don't need all that. Just do the music, keep it going. Like, they don't need, because New Orleans folks could get triggered easily. I'm just saying. Like, New Orleans folks is about the principle with New Orleans folks. It's the principle that matters. You know what I mean? And feelings get triggered easily. And like, next thing you know, child, I'm just glad they got through it with no shooting. No shooting. I'm just saying. Thank you, Rage King. Listen to this.
Are you gonna hit me or something? What the fuck I'm gonna hit you for, Samaya? I don't got no beef with you. Your beef is with me. I don't even talk to you. What are you talking about? I called you to make sure that you had a ride to work. I don't have to give a damn about you getting to work, Samaya. No, you didn't. You told me that I had to pay you to get to work. I said, do you have some money? Because I don't have none. And then I said, Bug, I got $10. But what I'm trying to tell you for next time is that you can't depend on me to pay my money and my gas to get you to and from work. That's not my responsibility. You can't get mad because I'm telling you you gotta buy your own food. You're an adult. That's not my responsibility. So you're not my mom no more because I'm here to help you. I'm not here to put your goddamn bill.
What have you helped me with? You haven't taught me how to drive. You haven't given me no money to put to school. You have not done nothing else.
When do you brush your teeth?
Okay, so what?
Who's been washing your goddamn
clothes? Okay, so as soon as I graduate, I'm supposed to be
I've been taking care of you. I didn't tell you you had to leave.
Yes, you did.
I tell you you
yes,
had
you
to leave.
did.
You said, I hate it here. I hate you. I want to hurry up and move out of here.
But then you said I had money to
say, Bug, pack your shit and get the fuck out.
Yes, you did.
I never told you that.
Yes, you did.
No.
We can go to the messages. Yes, you did. You told me that 2 weeks ago that I had 30 days to leave.
You told me that you was going to go anyway, Bug. Well, you're supposed to be going to work. You shouldn't even take your ass to work. Why? Because you got
What?
You make $1,000 a month.
Barely.
You told me you make $2,000 a month.
Barely.
But it doesn't even matter, Bug. All I asked for was $50 to $100 out of that. That would still left you with.
A week.
No, I said when you get paid.
Every
50
week.
to 100. I didn't know when you got paid. That's why I asked you. Either way, you would have still had a bulk of money left, Bug. All I said was help me.
So
you're causing me to have to pay gas.
Okay, what do you guys think of this? And I'm gonna leave it here. What's your thoughts on this? So she's saying that she wants her adult daughter to help pay, because the daughter depends on her to get her back and forth to work. She says she's using her gas money to get her back and forth to work, and she's asking her, can she at least help $50 to $100? It says a week, but she says she didn't know she gets paid every week, but she's saying, I guess on a monthly basis, help out something because she needs a little help helping her. What's your thoughts on that? I want to hear. Let me know in the chat. I want to know, do you think, and somebody said they need more context. I would have to need more context too, but I mean, that's tricky. Jamil 843 says, I love Soulja Slim and Mystical, so I'm going to go with No Limit. Yeah. I like Mystical too. And I really wish he would get out of jail. That's crazy. That man is still in jail. Thank you, Jamil 843. Now, I wish he could have been at the verses. He would have turned it out, in my opinion. Successful MD says they sound like Kermit and Miss Piggy. Oh my God. Thank you, Successful MD. What's your thoughts about adult children helping out in the household? Do you think that they should? Let me know in the chat. Do you think that your adult kids should pay something to help out in the household, or especially if they, if they're living at home, should they contribute to the household? Let me know your thoughts. What you think? What's your thoughts on that? Because this is a common discussion that I see a lot of people having with adult children in the house. Jay Tillman says, seems reasonable, but they both need counseling. Right. She need to kick out some paper to help mom. Okay, so Quick 504 thinks they should. Okay, so Jay Tillman say yes. Yeah, so a lot of people tend to think that, children, grown kids living in the household should contribute. I'm torn on that. I think you're grown, and if you're taking resources, at some point I think that they should. I wouldn't say that they should be paying a whole lot. I don't think that I don't think as the parent, and I think this is what happens with a lot of single mothers, they depend on the child to actually help with food and bills and things of that nature. And if they don't get that, then they're actually struggling. I think a lot of the single mothers are struggling, so they depend on their children to, to balance it out. Now, I mean, listen, if you're living there as an adult and you got a job, I don't see nothing wrong with you contributing. But I don't think it should be a means to it. I don't think it should be you need, what I'm saying? Like, you need to depend on your child. If you don't have them funds from your child, then you asked out, you stuck, you can't pay your bills. No, I think it just teaches them responsibility. And you could teach them responsibility also too by working, showing them how to save their money or invest their money or put their money aside and things of that nature. But I think, if you got a bunch of grown people in a household and they eating up everything, there's nothing wrong with them contributing sometimes to maybe replace some items that you ate or contribute to because these grown people eat a lot. They eat a lot. So I don't see nothing wrong with you contributing in some way just because you want to, not that it's a necessity that if they don't contribute, y'all not going to eat. But I'm like, yeah, I don't see nothing wrong with it, but it's not something I would depend on. You get what I'm saying? Like, just depend on the person, the child, if they don't give you, the money for the light bill or something like that, that your lights gonna go out. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you should depend on it. Let's see here. Whenever a woman can get away with keeping her own money, she will not pay anything, i.e. her. His money is my money and my money is my money. Right. Where the dad? Exactly. How else do you learn responsibility? These grown kids have a sense of entitlement and think mom can just pay for everything while they stay there. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I think, yeah, you have to learn how to be responsible. So when you either get out on your own, you understand that you got to pay for bills, you got to pay for groceries. I think, yeah, if you're just sitting up and you just, I think, because I think too, you can spoil your kids. I think your kids get used to being spoiled and they don't have to do anything, especially when they were little minors. They get used to that. Then when they become adults, they don't understand that concept that, wait a minute, now you're not a kid, you're an adult. And especially if you're, because a lot of times, in many cases, when a child turns 18, a lot of these parents be ready to put them out. So if you can be at home and be comfortable in your home as a whole grown adult and you're able to work, yeah, I don't see nothing wrong with contributing, because once again, you're using everything, you're eating, you're using all kind of stuff. So why not contribute? I say contribute, not giving your whole check. No, you need to be able to budget your money, save your money, that kind of thing, build up your money, but also, hey, there's nothing wrong with contributing in the household. Yeah, I don't see nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, I think if you have stable parents, that's the whole point of having a mother and a father in a household, because the parents are stable. So you're contributing. You're not, our lifestyle does not depend upon your check. You get what I'm saying? Or your little contribution. But it's to teach you, hey, you gotta contribute. It's a part of being responsible, while teaching you that as well. Hey, budget your money, put your money aside, do this, do that. You know what I'm saying? But also contributing, not just taking your whole check because you need. Nah, I don't, Irving Hunt says, I had to pay at 18. Mom did not raise that girl right. No father, I'm sure. Girl got that bone in her nose and lashes, but don't want to contribute. I get it, Irvin. Thank you once again for the super chat, Irvin. I appreciate you. Rage King says, I've been paying rent since 7 years old. LMAO. Really? How? 7 years old? Wow. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. I understand contributing to the house, but from the sound of this mother, she was expecting the daughter to give her entire check and pay all the bills. The mom sounds like a bum. Then David M says, facts. Yeah. Honestly, I don't think that should be the issue. I don't think you should be dependent upon your child's check to pay your. You should be able to pay your bills, but show them, how to be responsible. So yeah, that's what I think. Snap Insta. Can I see your face? Can you show your camera? Show yourself on camera. So, users everywhere. Yeah. So because in our household, our kids contribute in different ways. But they don't pay bills. They don't pay the bills in the household, but they do contribute in certain little ways. You know what I'm saying? They don't pay light bills or none of that, but they do contribute in different ways. If something is needed, yeah, they'll take turns, like they'll pay or contribute. And that's what we, that's our standards. We don't look for them. We rather them work and build their money up and save their money for themselves. You know what I'm saying? But understand too that you are an adult and you have to contribute some kind of way in the household, because y'all are adults. Y'all eat, y'all use toilet tissue, you use these things just don't grow off of a tree. You got to buy it. And the more people you have in the household, the faster you got to buy these things. So them contributing to those types of things, it helps out a lot. So yeah, so contributing is more of where we are. Paying bills, we don't ask them to do that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think that they would be opposed to it. Let's see. All children should be at home doing chores. Meanwhile, a lot of these women have live-in pookies and they don't contribute. Now that's the truth. Since that's MD, that is the truth. They sure do. And then they put the pressure on the children to do it because the pookie is not doing anything. And he's sitting there eating up and drinking all the food and, with his foot, kicked up, ain't giving nothing. So yeah, I don't think that that's fair at all. So yeah, you know what I mean? So that's a definite, that's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah, so you put all that stress on the kids and Pookie ain't got to do a damn thing. All he doing is busting you down and you comfortable with that. And then you go to the kids when you need something, say, oh, I need all money for this and money for that, which is crazy. So yeah, I just wanted to ask that because there's always a conversation on it. It's like some people believe that, when you're 18, in this day and age, there are women who believe that 18, your kids need to go. Like they need to get out the house. Nah, we don't do that. No, 18, no. Just because you turn 18. And I know for some young women and young men that's benefited them, but no, I don't think that when your child turns 18, they automatically just throw them out. No resources, no nothing. Just throw them out. Nah, no. I don't think that that's beneficial either. All right, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Listen, make sure you hit the like button on your way out. Shout out to everybody who joined this live stream. Shout out to everybody who supported via Cash App or Super Chat. I appreciate you guys so much for your support. Shout out to everybody who chimed in the chat. I appreciate you guys for that. Make sure you continue to support the channel. Watch the videos that are already posted on the channel, y'all. I have more content coming up soon. Also, hit the like button on your way out. Share the videos if you can. Hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new videos or go live, y'all. Make sure you are subscribed to the other channel. I don't know why I didn't put that link. Make sure you go over and subscribe to my other channel, y'all. I will be putting more content over there as well, but make sure you are subscribed so that you don't miss out on that channel. I'm going live on that channel simultaneously with this one as well. So make sure you go over and subscribe to that channel. That is in the description box. I was going to post it in the chat, but I forgot to post it, y'all. My bad. But it's in the description. The link is in the description. Make sure you go over and subscribe to that channel as well. Also, if you want to support the channel, y'all, you can support by purchasing merchandise. That link is in the description as well. If you want to get a hoodie or a t-shirt or a mug or something like that, that definitely helps to support the channel. Once again, make sure you are supporting by watching the videos already posted on the channel, y'all. Rage King Leo says, we was broke, so me and my brothers had to live together, so we all pitch in to survive. I was a disabled child, so had SSI, just got off this. Yeah, thank God. Oh, okay. I that makes sense. That I understand that. Rage King, understand it. Gotcha. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Yep, I get that. Thank you, Bringing Back Manhood podcast. Thank you for your support. What else was I saying? Yeah, so make sure you guys are supporting the channel, y'all. Make sure you are watching the videos. Put a like in the video. Leave a little quick comment to let me know that you watched the video. That definitely helps the channel out. All right, y'all. So I got to get out here. It is Halloween, y'all. Listen, I got a costume I wanted to wear for this live stream, but if I wore it, my kids I'm surprising them with who I'm dressing up to be today. So I didn't want to put it in the live because they would see it. So I'm gonna show y'all my costume. I'm gonna post it in the I'm gonna post a picture in the because we normally, my daughter started this, Lord, my 16-year-old. She started this because normally I did not dress up for Halloween, but she started saying, hey, let's do this. And so now she got me into doing this, child. So I got me a little costume. I'm going to wear the costume, baby. We're going to take a picture and I'm going to post it on the community tab. So look out for that. I'm going to post it on the community tab. And I might post it on Instagram as well of who I'm going to be in a little bit. Okay, so after this live, I will be getting into costumes. So I'll post a picture on the community tab so y'all see who I am for Halloween. All right. Oh my God. So thank y'all once again. The link to the second channel is in the description. If you want to go ahead and subscribe to the second channel, go ahead and do that. It's also it's in the chat and it's in the description. Go over and subscribe to the morning show with DeeDee. I will be posting content over there really, really soon, y'all. Please bear with me, Lord. Because I keep saying that, but I really be busy. But I will be posting more stuff over there. So Thank y'all so much once again for being here. Shout out to all of you guys. I love you guys. Y'all be safe. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I may be back sooner than you think. But definitely keep that notification bell turned on so you'll be notified when I go live or post new content. Thank you. Thank you, Bringing Back Manhood Podcast, for subbing to the channel. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for that. So yeah, make sure you guys go over and subscribe to that channel, please, because I will be putting content over there. If you have any suggestions for content, or if you have any videos that you would like me to react to, please DM me send them to my DMs on Instagram. My Instagram is DeeDees at DeeDeesReactions on Instagram. Send them over there, or you can email them to me either way. If you have any videos you would like me to react to, so just send it there. All right. So that is it, you guys. I appreciate you so much. Thank y'all so much for being here. I will see you guys really, really soon. Y'all be safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.